Welcome back, everybody. John Morose here. Here is the second part of the webinar for the elite coaching students over at Empowered Entrepreneurs. And we just covered copywriting, and this is actually how to create that content that attracts free leads while maximizing your traffic in minimal time. And at the same time, I'm actually going to do a whole bunch of click-by-click here so you can actually see it firsthand rather than just watching a presentation. So let's get into it. How to create content that attracts free leads while maximizing your traffic in minimal time. Alright. In this webinar, we are going to cover how to get ideas for content that will drive massive traffic to your offer, how to create content that helps your prospects while earning you money, how to get your content optimized for the search engines, and how to get the maximum exposure for the minimum amount of work. And lastly, how to automate your work, leveraging your time and efforts, all while building a loyal fan base and community. And this is a pretty powerful one, the last bullet point there. So, content creation is going to drive traffic to your offer, and the first part of this comes down to doing some market research. Now, if you don't have a blog, I recommend going through the 10-day bootcamp at johnmorose.com. That'll show you how to get a blog online. This is not about installing blogs or WordPress or anything like that. The johnmorose.com 10-day bootcamp series will definitely teach you how to do all that for free. This is more so about creating the content. Now, one of the tools that people don't seem to use too often for market research is the Google keyword tool. Most people use this for pay-per-click. So what you want to do is find long-tail keywords with minimal competition, but also at the same time thinking about having a good amount of searches per month. Now, a long-tail keyword is like a few keywords strung together. So instead of it just being one keyword, you're putting 2 or 3 keywords together. That's a long-tail keyword. And the idea here again is to find keywords that don't have a lot of competition, but a lot of people are searching for it every single month. That'll get you a lot of traffic, and you'll get ranked high on the engines pretty easily. And you can do this by using the Google keyword tool, and I'll get into that in just a second. And another way is if you're in the network marketing niche, it doesn't really matter if you're in real estate or insurance, whatever it might be, to use sites that review your niche. So if it's insurance, you want to find a site that reviews insurance companies. It's a real estate site that reviews real estate. Now this is, network marketing is my niche, so I know a couple of websites, and I'll go over that with you. One, for example, is mpros.com, and another one is mlmrankings.com. So let's get into the click-by-click here, and I'll show you what I mean here. So let me get out of this. Let's go back over to Google. And the first thing I'm going to cover is the Google keyword tool. So let's go to keyword tool, and you'll see the first one that comes up here is AdWords Google Select Keyword Tool. This is the one that you want to use here. So when you get into this, you have to come up with any ideas here. Now, if you're just trying to think of keywords related to your niche, for example, somebody that's new to network marketing might type in, let's say, MLM network marketing. And let's type this in here. NOSTR. These things are annoying, but let's see here. Okay, so now again, this isn't too relevant to what we're talking about here because this is a pay-per-click keyword tool. So the competition here is more for AdWords. It's not for search engine optimization. We're not talking about pay-per-click here. We're talking about getting ranked on those first pages of Google organically, not through pay-per-clicks. That's not too relevant to what we're talking about here. What we do want to look at, though, is the global monthly searches. Okay, so you can see that MLM Network Marketing has 9,900 searches per month. So that's a pretty, that's a good amount of traffic that could be coming to your site, but I'm sure that there's probably a lot of competition. So if we go over to Google and type in MLM Network Marketing over here, you can see that there are 7,190,000 results. So this is probably not a keyword that you want to write an article on because that's a lot of competition for only 9,000 searches a month. So let's get back into this and look at something else. So what I've seemed to find out is that usually in that 1,000 to 2,500 range is usually pretty good. So if we were to look at 2,400 searches per month, what is network marketing? I would think that this might have a good amount of competition, but at the same time, you might be able to rank pretty well for it. So let's say, what is network marketing? So let's copy that, go back over to Google, paste that in, yeah, and you're still getting 51,400,000 results. So network marketing, probably those words together, there's always going to be a lot of competition for it. So instead of doing MLM network marketing, let's just try and take out network out of it and just type in MLM marketing and do a search for that. And here, you know, again, you're probably not going to rank for MLM marketing specifically because you got about 27,100 searches per month. So what you're trying to do here is again, find a keyword that has a lot of searches or a decent amount of searches, maybe 1,800, 2,500, something like that, and also not a lot of traffic. So if you come down here, there's probably online MLM marketing is 1,000. That might not be bad. But let's try MLM marketing online, for example. And we come back over here and type in MLM did I say it? Marketing online. And here you got about 602,000. So that's not too bad. You know, you probably want to be in that 300,000 range or so. But you know, this is a great way to get ideas for content. To articles that you can write, or blog posts, or videos that you can make to pick up a good amount of traffic from each of these. You know, if you were to write an article on MLM success, write an article on MLM secrets, MLM home-based business, stuff like this, you can pick up traffic like this, you know, consistently on a daily basis. So you can put those articles out there, and I'll get into where you post your articles here in a minute. But just imagine all that traffic after, you know, creating one piece of content per day. After a month, you got 30 articles out there, all driving hundreds of visitors to your site. So this is a great way to get ideas for content, is using the Google keyword tool. Now, I also talked about some websites that you can use. Now, this is one of my favorite ways to discover good keywords to write about. So, and here's the website you would go to. MLMrankings.com, and it's MLMrankings.com, and here you'll find a whole bunch of the top network marketing companies in the industry. Now there's going to be a lot of competition for these big top companies here, so what I usually do is come back up here and go to the top gainers, because these are usually companies that are just getting started. Say, for example, in the last 6 months, and they've just had huge gains in their business, but there's probably not a lot of competition out there. So what I usually look for is somewhere right in the middle. 124 is probably a good one. PRII Beauty, it just had a 612% gain, so that could be a great keyword. But for example, let's look at 124, because I'm somewhat familiar with this company, and let's just copy that keyword, and we'll go over here to Google and paste that in here, and you can see there's only 179,000 results. You could probably get first page on this with probably 1 or 2 articles, and point those articles back to your blog post, and that is probably a ton of traffic coming in. Let alone take this keyword 124, take it back into the Google keyword tool, and see how many people are researching. You know what? Let's do that again. Let's go keyword tool. And we'll go back into it again here, and we'll just type in 124 and do a search on it. And here it tells you you're getting 12,100 searches per month. And again, this is pay-per-click, but there's no competition. As you can see, there's 179,000 results, which is pretty easy to rank for. Maybe you might be able to, you know, again, you want to be in that 100,000 to 300,000 range. Get on the first page of this, you could be picking up a good, you know, 10,000, 8,000 you know, visitors per month. So there's a whole bunch of opportunities here, and this is just one example. Let's go back to MLM company rankings again, And take another keyword, Talk Fusion, for example. This had 183% gain in the past 6 months. We'll put this into Google. And here, well, this is a little bit more, so I don't know if I would try that one out. But, you know, again, this is where you get your ideas, this is your market research, and this is how it's done. Another one is NPros. So let's go to npros.com. And when this site loads up here, it's very similar to MLM Rankings in that it reviews a whole bunch of network marketing companies. So what you would do here is, let's go down and look at new companies. Now, you know, there's a lot of people out there that jump around from company to company, and you know, there's a lot of people joining businesses pretty quickly. So they're doing a whole bunch of market research themselves. You can write articles on them, on these companies, and pick up all that traffic. So let's take a look at some of the ones. The Customer Advantage, for example, Zemo, eFoods Global. Let's take a look at eFoods Global. We'll come back over here into Google and paste in eFoods Global. And here you've got 57,100. You could probably be on the front page of eFoods Global, no problem. This is a great keyword here. And again, let's take that back in the Google keyword tool and do a little search on it. There's not a lot of interest there, about 1,300 results or searches per month, so it's probably not the best keyword. The other one that we just looked up, 124, there's a ton of traffic there to be picked up, so that's some ideas for you guys. This is all market research, and this is how it's done. So you're having problems coming up with ideas for content or articles or posts. This is how you do it, you know. And in the webinar that I just covered before, that tells you how and how to write your content. So this should definitely help you out when it comes to thinking of ideas to start driving some traffic to your sites. Alright guys, so let's get back into the webinar here. Let's get here. Okay, so now that you've discovered the topic for your article or post, you need to create it. So there's a few things that you want to think about here when you're creating your posts. You want to always provide value. Find the problem that people are having and offer the solution, as I covered before in the webinar above. You may have heard the saying from Mike Dillard. You know, it's a very famous saying in the industry. Nobody bought a drill because they wanted a drill. They buy the drill because they need the hole. So an example of this would be, nobody's joining a network marketing company because they want to just join a network marketing company. They join more than likely because they want more freedom. They like the product that the network marketing company has. They want more money. They want to be their own boss. They can't stand their job. They want financial security. These are things that you want to, you're finding the problem, you're offering the solution. Alright? Now, when writing your content, again, it's about providing quality and being consistent and being relevant and providing value. Write for your audience and not your peers. And some of the most common fears that I've seen here with my teammates as well is that they don't have anything of value to offer. Well, you do have value to offer. You actually have tons and tons of value to offer. This is about creating relationships with other network marketers. If you learn something, go out there and make a video on it. If you learned a new technique, go and write a blog post about it. You're sharing with others what you're learning, and you're able to provide a shorter route for the people who are reading your content, and you're giving them solutions. So you have value. Anything that you're learning, share it with others. This is about being on a journey together, and people will really appreciate that. So another problem that people have is that they're afraid that they're going to get criticized or judged by others, or that you're not going to be good at it. You got to get past that. It's again, it's really just about sharing what you have to offer and taking your readers or viewers on the journey with you. Know that you can do it, get past your fears, and have the courage to take action. Also, make sure that you don't compare yourself to others. You're going to end up overwhelmed, and it's going to cause more stress on yourself. If you're out there, learning, something for some of the top leaders in this industry, obviously these people are going to have a lot more content online. They might have a lot more products online. they've been doing this for a while. So when I first got started, that was one of my biggest problems. I was trying to get everything done at once, and I was just overwhelming myself. So it's just take it one day at a time, set your goals, and take action on those goals. One of the things that I always do right before I go to bed that night or stop working that night, I have a whiteboard here in the house, and I just write out my goal for the next day, and I just make sure to accomplish that the next day. So one day at a time, and you'll be really surprised at how far that can go. Alright, so sticking with how to create content that helps your prospects while earning you money. You want to give your prospects what they are looking for. Know your prospects' hot buttons, pain points, and the benefits that they seek. Find the problem and offer the solution. I also talked about this in the copywriting webinar above. Don't overload them with too much useless information. Get to the point. Give them something that they can use. If you make a promise to deliver a free report, an offer, or a tool, deliver it. So this is very important. If you make a promise, deliver on that. Be truthful. Dishonesty is going to get you nowhere, and it will catch up to you in the end. Let them know that by finding your content, they've discovered something of great value. Again, I just spoke about this before. People appreciate the fact that you're sharing great knowledge with them. When I first got started, again, I'll go back to my story, it took me about 6 months to figure everything out because I couldn't just find that one place where I could kind of go to learn everything. It was, I had to buy a course here, and that course went on for 6 weeks, and I had to buy another course for another product. If you can help your readers by providing what you're learning and share that with them, that is of great value. So let them know that they've discovered something of great value when they're reading your content. Share your story, as I just did a second ago. People should be able to relate to you. Build a relationship with your prospect by allowing them to get to know, like, and trust you. Let them know what to do next. This is a call to action, so provide an action step for them to take immediately. Remove their risk. Let them know that what you have to offer is of more value than the price that they would pay, and always over-deliver. How to get your content optimized for the search engines. Now this is the basics. I've got some solutions here for you, but you might want to get out a pen and paper because this is some pretty important stuff when you're writing blog posts and articles. But let's get into the basics here. One of the things that you're going to want to do is include your keyword in the URL. Now if you don't understand this yet, I'm going to do a click-by-click here in just a second and show you exactly what I mean. So include your keyword in the URL. You want to include your keyword in the title. You want to include your keyword in an H1 tag, an H2 tag, and an H3 tag. You want to italicize, underline, and bold your keyword. You want to include your keyword in an image. I'll show you how to do that as well in just a second. You want to have your keyword density above 2%, and you want to include your keyword in the last sentence. So again, let me get into this one more time. So if you want to write this down, include your keyword in the URL, your keyword in the title, include your keyword in the H1 tag, H2 tag, and H3 tag, italicize, underline, and bold your keyword, include your keyword in an image. You should have a keyword density of above 2%, but not too far. When I talk about keyword density, you don't want to probably be over 7 or 8%, because again, you're writing for the reader, not the search engines. Google has some pretty good algorithms out there, and they know when you're spamming the engine. So if you're writing a piece of content and you have the keyword that you're trying to get optimized for, and you have it in there 200 times, and your article is only 500 words, that's too much. And Google's you're playing a game with Google, and Google is going to beat you when it comes to that algorithm. So don't be spammy. Remember to write for your reader and have your keyword in there just enough so that Google knows what you're writing about. And again, include your keyword in the last sentence. Alright, so let's get into this, and let me show you what I mean here. So first things, include your keyword in the URL, and then also in the title. Now I'm creating a post here about the video that I'm making right now. See, I haven't made the video yet, and I'm going to tell you the reasoning for this at the end of the webinar, but there will be a video here right now. So when I'm making the post here, I've got the keyword that I'm trying to rank for, and this might be Empowered Entrepreneurs Review, for example. So I want to rank for this keyword here. So when you're doing your blog post, again, this is in my 10-day bootcamp, shows you how to do all this. But here is johnmorose.com, and you can edit exactly what's going to be shown, and this will be your URL. So in the end, it'll be johnmorose.com/Empowered Entrepreneurs Review. So if somebody types in Empowered Entrepreneurs Review, I might be able to pick up some of that traffic here in the future. So I've got my keyword in the URL. Next, you want to have your keyword in the title, Empowered Entrepreneurs. Your keyword in the heading. Remember I was talking about H1 tags? So here is how you would do that. So you put your keyword here, and then you scroll down and you click on heading 1. Okay? Actually, that just took it off because it already was a heading 1. So let me do that again. So you click it heading 1. All right? So that's a H1 tag, and that'll help you out. You also want to have your keywords in the H2 tags. So here, as you can see, is a heading 2. And then later on down in the copy here, you want to have it in the H3 tag. So this would be an H3 tag. It's a little bit smaller there, okay? Next, what did I say after that? So H1, H2, H3 tag, you want to italicize, underline, and bold your keywords. So here, and usually you want to do this within the first paragraph. So you can see I've got it bold here, I've got it underlined here, and I actually have a plugin that automatically bolds, underline, and italicizes. So I probably don't have it. Let me see if I do. Hold on. Here you go. Italicized. Bold, underline, italicized. Okay. You want to include your keyword in an image. And here, for example, I've got an image of Empowered Entrepreneurs. And how you include a keyword here, you just click on this little button right here, and you'll see it pops up, and I've got my keyword in the image. Alright? So that's how you do that. And easy enough. Okay? And lastly, your keyword density should be above 2%. It's safe to go around 3 to 4%, but as you can see, my keyword density is right here at 2.8%, which is a little low, but it's fine. Right above 2% would be fine. Now, another solution to this, and this is just like having an SEO guru at your right hand side at all time, I use a plugin called SEO Presser. This helps me get to the first page of Google on almost everything that I write with a little bit of effort. You know, I've got to put some backlinks in there, which I'm going to cover up next. But SEO Presser is an amazing plugin for this. You've got your own SEO guru just sitting right by your side. So it's pretty powerful. Again, this unfortunately is a paid plugin, so if it's not in your budget right now, it's not expensive. It's definitely worth it. But if it's not in your budget right now, you can just write down those key points that I just covered there in the presentation, and you'll get a good portion of it done. Now, if you use SEO Presser, it's going to tell you exactly what you're doing and what you're not doing wrong, so that you can improve your score. I've got almost a 90% score. This is what Google's going to be looking at, and I'll leave a link down here when I post this here. I think I have a link. Yeah, I've got a link here, SEO Presser, if you decide to pick it up. Alright guys, so that's getting your content optimized for the search engine. So let's get back into this and get into the next part of it here. Again, you can go to johnmorose.com/SEO Presser, and that'll help you out there if you decide to pick up that plugin. Alright, so how to get the maximum exposure for the minimum amount of work. Now, after you've created your content, you can repurpose your content. So if I were to take that same blog post that I just showed you, what I might do is take that blog post and put it into Microsoft Word, for example, and just reword the whole thing so it's a little bit different, so it's not a duplicate. And when I repurpose it, I can repurpose it into, if it was an article, I could repurpose it into a blog post. But because it's a blog post, I can repurpose it into a YouTube video, for example. I may even post this video on YouTube right now, which would be another piece of content that would pick up even more traffic. You can repurpose it into a Squidoo lens, and again, I talk about this in my 10-day bootcamp. A hub page is very powerful. An ezine article, and again, when I talk about article directories, you want to look for quality article directories, ones that have ones that are liked in the eyes of Google, I should say, for example. If you just posting your article anywhere or using certain article submitter pieces of software that are submitting it to just random places, Google's come out with a new algorithm that sees that, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be posting your articles to high quality sites, and there's also a piece of software that does this now, so I'll get into that as well. Go Articles, for example, is a great article directory. A press release is another option as well. And again, the piece of software that I'm talking about, now guys, this is the best software I've seen in the industry, and it's called Article Robot, and it only submits and repurposes your content to the highest quality directories. So very powerful. That'll help you get your content out there, picking up traffic in many different places. So again, what you did is you wrote one piece of content and you repurposed it into 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or 15 different pieces of content, all picking up traffic, driving them to your offer. So very powerful in the end. Alright guys? Now, back into search engine optimization here, how to get your site ranked very highly and hopefully on the first pages of Google. The technique that you want to have here is by having a link pointing back to your post on your blog. So the article will drive a good amount of traffic and can drive a little bit of traffic to your website, but the main place that you want your people at is on your personal website, where you can have your call to action. And by creating articles with links that point back to your website, that is like a vote in Google's eyes, telling Google that your blog or website is of very high value, and therefore because of the backlinks pointing back to your website, Google is going to put your website on the first, second, third, fourth page, whatever it might be. You continue to do that, you're going to get ranked higher in the engine. So your blog is going to have the call to action, where your article on the other sites, like Hub Pages, for example, will have a link pointing back to your blog. This will in turn give your site better rankings in the search engines, and ultimately, again, this is where you want your prospects. So let me get into that and show you what I mean. So I'm creating this blog post right here, right now, and I'm just going to repurpose it. So what I did is I took this blog post, then I put it into Microsoft Word, and I just rewrote the article. And after I rewrote the article, I took it to a very popular directory that Google loves, and let's get into that. And I went to, let's see if I can find it here. B, C, D, E, F, G, let's get into Hub Pages, for example. Okay, so when this loads here, you can see, let's go to Your Hubs, Empowered Entrepreneurs. Okay, so when this loads, you'll see that this is very similar to my blog post that I'm writing here. It's not exact, so it's not duplicate content, but it's very similar. And what this is doing is I'm very relevant to my blog post. So I'm trying to rank for the keyword, maybe empowered entrepreneurs. And in here I have a keyword density of over 2%. I've got my keywords bolded and italicized and probably underlined somewhere in here as well. And all I did here is let's take a look at some of the bullet points. I said how to do market research that will lead to ideas for your content. Well, here on my blog post, I wrote, what did I put here? Let's see. How to get ideas for your content that will drive massive traffic to your offer. And on Hub Pages, how to do market research that will lead to ideas for your content and creation. It's pretty much, somewhat the same, but it's just twisted around a little bit, and it's, of good value. So again, the same rules pretty much apply here. You've got your keywords italicized, underlined, bolded. You've got, your keyword density is up there. You've got an image with your keyword. Same rules pretty much apply here. And then at the end, I've got a link with my keyword. This is called off-page optimization, and I've got my keyword here and a link pointing back to my blog. I've actually got two links. So if I want to rank for my own name, John Moroz, for example, I've got a link just pointing back to johnmoroz.com, and I've got my keyword, Empowered Entrepreneurs. When Google sees this, they recognize that, and this is like a vote in Google's eyes to make my blog post rank higher in the engines. Alright guys, so this is a little bit of search engine optimization here. Again, all I did is I just repurposed my blog post, put it into an article, and posted it on HubPage. The whole process probably took 15 minutes, and in the end, you know, it'll drive traffic for the long term. This article could, in the end, be driving traffic to my websites for the next year to come. So not a lot of work, and you're getting a lot out of it. Alright guys, so hopefully you understand all that, and let's get back into the webinar here. So, after you've created your blog post and repurposed it into an article or a Squidoo or a HubPage or a video, you'll want to syndicate it through the social bookmarking sites like Dig, Reddit, StumbleUpon, Twitter, Facebook. Any of this stuff would be a good example. And I know this can be a time-consuming task, so I'm also going to leave another link down there if you decide to use it. I use something called Traffic Bug, and I believe, depending on when you're watching this video, the Traffic Bug is doing a deal right now for like $12 where you can get their new piece of software here called Ping Kaching, and this is what I use right here, and this makes it really easy. So once you get in here and you go to johnmoroz.com, and you can, after you put the article there, for example, this will submit it to all the directories. It will submit it to, like, I believe it's 800 to 1,000 different social bookmarking directories, which are all pointing links back to your articles and to your blog posts. So that'll make it a lot easier for you. Otherwise, you can do it manually. You just go to Dig and submit your links, Reddit, StumbleUpon, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it may be, and that'll definitely help out with your rankings as well. Okay, and another thing that you want to be thinking about is how to automate your work, leveraging your time and efforts while building a loyal fan base and community. So one of the things that you want to be sure to do is always ask for comments and have your readers post it to their social sites as well, if it was of value to them. So when they post great content to their Facebook or Twitter, for example, people in the community appreciate it because they get to learn from them, and they're going to be looking to them for great articles and great information. And at the same time, you'll get a little extra traffic for creating the article. So everybody wins here, So you create a piece of content, you get your followers or your fans or your list or your friends on Facebook or Twitter to post it to their pages. It helps everybody out. You get some traffic, and they get a little bit of recognition for finding this stuff. So it's a great thing to be doing. And that reminds me, be sure to add a comment below if you appreciated these webinars and they were of good value to you. And lastly, and this is pretty powerful, when creating your content, try to keep it time tested. If possible, do not include the dates if the content will be of value for years to come. So for example, this webinar is pretty much time tested. We covered copywriting, and everything that we're covering here in this webinar is pretty much going to be of use for many years to come, if not decades to come. So this could be a great piece of content that would fit the criteria of adding it to an autoresponder or a follow-up campaign, for example, Aweber. And you can add it to maybe, for example, a bootcamp series or something that you would have on your blog. So by leveraging your time and efforts now, you're going to be able to concentrate on other projects in the future while still keeping in touch with your valued list. So an example of this, I use Aweber personally, so let me get into this here and show you what I mean. So after I wrote the blog post and I posted it to HubPages, I went to Microsoft Word and I just created a piece of or a follow-up letter. And what I'll do here is I'll just take this follow-up letter and I'll add this to my Aweber account And it could be 20, 30, 40, 50 days down the line after somebody opts into your website, and they might get this this follow-up letter, and that leads them to a great webinar. And this, as I'm making this video now, who knows, this may be how you got the message, and now that you're actually going back and now you're able to watch this webinar that I've created, and hopefully it's going to be of extreme value to you. So at the same time, creating this video and also leveraging my time and efforts so that you can still provide value to your list for the future. So very, very powerful stuff there. All right, guys. So I believe that is it for this. Hopefully this was definitely of great value to you. Again, leave some comments below if you appreciated it. Let me know how you're doing it with it. If you've come up with some great keywords and what you're doing, you can even include a link below, and we'll check it out. So again, this was how to create content that attracts free leads while maximizing your traffic in minimal time. All right, guys, John Moroz here. I will see you in the next video, and take care for now.